Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to my channel. How is everybody? It is a Friday, so happy Juma Mubarak. Today we're gonna do my revert story. It's been long awaited. If you hear a little pitter patter, those are my dogs walking around. They want to sit on my lap, but I'm busy. So, how is everyone? Before I even start, how is everyone? I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is blessed. Hope everyone's having a good week, a good day. And if your week is not going good, your day hasn't been going good, your month hasn't been going good, your year hasn't been going good, I really hope that changes. And I hope that Allah blesses you. But whatever it is that you may need, whatever it is that you may want, you know? So, my revert story. Quick disclaimer. I'm gonna start by answering a few questions I've been asked. Sorry if my energy is a little low. I'm just like, it's really early in the morning and I don't know, like I feel very peaceful. Like I feel very calm and very peaceful. So my energy is just very low. This is reminding me of when, like, if you're a real one, like if you're a day one and you were here when I first started my channel, you know that I used to sit in my garage or I used to sit in the car and just talk to the phone. So this is gonna be kind of like, this is gonna be one of those videos. A few questions people had, like, or that I always get asked is if someone convinced me, like, oh, who convinced you, or like, why did you do these, like, come to Islam, right? First off, no one convinced me. I'm a very hard person to convince. I'm like as stubborn as a donkey. The only way you can convince me to do something is if I want to do it, and you wouldn't be convincing me. I would be convincing myself to do it. And I don't take suggestions unless I ask for suggestions. So nobody had to convince me. Nobody had to convince me. It's something that I literally just took up on myself. I don't know. This is so, like, this is such a touchy thing. Because now that I look back on, like, everything and the way life went in the last couple of years, it's kind of very nerve-wracking to talk about. Because I'm, like, reflecting on everything. So if I get a little emotional, just act like you didn't see it. Act like you didn't see it. But okay, so I'll tell you when I reverted first was in November of 2022. We are now in March of 2023. I believe my revert day was November 28th, if not the 26th. It was around there. Nobody necessarily convinced me, but someone who told me, like, hey, you should take your Shahada, was a very fond friend of mine. He's a brother named Duma. He very much kind of gave me the steps. Well, he let me know how the process goes into becoming a Muslim, and he sent me some, like, informational videos because we were going to travel together. And, like, he was explaining to me that there's going to be, like, certain rules, so don't be weirded out, I guess you can say. But that didn't end up happening. So that's neither here nor there, you know. But I would tell you guys how I became, like, really, I don't want to say religious, but why it was so easy for me to take my Shahada. So long story short, just a quick background is I grew up Catholic. Like, I was raised Catholic. My family went to a Catholic church. We all used to go together We all used to go to Sunday school and stuff like that. And I never really understood it. Church really bore me. I used to resent going to church. I just felt like it was a waste of time. I didn't really understand anything. Things were so confusing. And it was just really boring. It was really boring. I remember most of the information retained. I will say, as a Catholic, like, I was baptized, took my first communion, confirmed everything. I did all my seven sacraments as a Catholic. And the thing with a Catholic, I believe you're like 12, 13, you get confirmed. But once you're confirmed, you make the decision whether or not you want to be active in the church or not. So I took it upon myself, like, that's it. Like, that's the end of the road for me. I feel myself getting emotional. Oh my goodness. I don't know why. But, like, okay, so I would say, like, growing up, I was, like, very depressed. Like, since I could remember, like, I grew up with a lot of things. I grew up with a lot. Like, my childhood wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Not that, like, I grew up in poverty or anything, but just, like, my relationship with my parents wasn't the best. And then, like, as I got to a teen, like, things really got rocky between, like, me and my mom. And the last few years, like 5 to 7 years, has been really hard because I had my daughter when I was 17 years old. And, oh my goodness. Oh, sorry, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Okay, I may not be able to make it through this video because I feel like I'm gonna cry already. Just thinking about stuff. I need some, but so yeah, that was very hard. That was very hard. That was very hard. Things went very south with me and her father. And after that, like, I was just extremely depressed. I probably, in my life, attempted suicide like 3 times. And the last time, it was like on my 18th birthday. And I was basically like, yeah, I seriously don't know if I'm gonna make it through this video. I seriously don't know. I had to go take a second to pull myself together, because this is like something very touchy, and I don't really express how I feel or like things I went through. So, like, whew, this is very hard. So, okay, long story short, like, I had my daughter. I was really depressed. And like the last time, like, I tried to unalive myself, I'm gonna say, before YouTube bans me. I was 18 years old, and I made a promise to myself, like, if I get to see the age of 21, then I want to do something really special for myself. So my 21st birthday was really special to me because I made myself that promise. But I will say, like, after having my daughter, like, things with my mother went completely downhill. Things with my family went completely downhill. In about 2018, I was basically living on the street. I did have a boyfriend at the time. So, like, he was making sure I was good. because basically he gave up his home too for the fact that I couldn't stay there. He was like that he'd rather be with me, making sure I'm okay. So I was living on the street. I slept on trains. I slept in parks. So yeah, that was an experience. I did graduate high school, and I was homeless. I graduated high school. That was a really big thing for me, because I just had a baby, and it's like, I will never forget. Somebody told me, basically, I got in. I'm not even gonna say somebody. He was like, oh, I'm never gonna graduate. All I do is like basically smoke weed, this and the third, do drugs, and like basically I'm a whore, whatever the case is. And 2 weeks after that, I graduated high school. And that kind of like pushed me. That pushed me a lot. And I'm not saying these things for these people to be slandered. It's just like, this is my story. This is my story. Nobody's gonna take that away from me. I'm not gonna lie and try to make it seem like I was like the best person on earth and like all of this stuff befell on me. Like, no, like, because of how I was raised, I ended up like growing resentment for my mother. Like, it got to a point like I hated my mother, and it just got worse and worse and worse. So 2018, like, I was living on the street, homeless. And then like, I think 2019, I was in a shelter. I had a restraining order against my mother. I had a restraining order against my sister. A whole bunch of things happened. Fast forward like a year or two ago. Was it a year or two ago? Yeah, like me and my sister fell out. And that was, what it's about is messed up. Because basically it was like, I'm not gonna get into the details, but it's very sensitive. Like, I was touched, and I opened up to my sister about it, and how she went about things after that kind of just like, it just was weird. So yeah, I would say though, like, having to sever the ties with my sister, it really, really bothered me, because like, I looked up to my sister. Even still to this day, she might hate my guts, but I love my sister. Like, I love her so much. Ooh, I love her so much. But fast forward, so it's like, basically, like, I had to fend for myself for the most part. Like, nobody ever understood me. Like, I was always the outcast, always the black sheep of my family. And like, while all these things were happening, like, I just felt myself, like, I started praying. And it's not like I didn't believe in God. I just wasn't sure. Like, I didn't believe in religion. I believed in God, I just didn't believe in religion, you know? So it's like, all of these things are happening, and I just found myself like praying. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I found myself like praying, and I'll just be like, yo, like, it wouldn't be anything formal. Like, I wouldn't like get on my knees and pray. I would just be like, yo, like, God, like, if you listening, like, please help me. Like, I need your help. And I always got the help that I needed. I always got the help that I needed. So that really, that's how I knew there was a God. For sure, besides religion, that's how I knew for a fact. Like, and that's how I developed my relationship. And it got to a point where it's like, I made it through all these things, and I know I didn't do it by myself, because half of the stuff I was going through is like impossible. Like, it felt so impossible. I felt so low. Like, I was just like, I hit rock bottom. And I would always tell myself, like, the only way, if I'm at rock bottom, I could only go up. Like, if I'm at rock bottom, the only way is up. So I started like, I don't know, like I started like pushing myself really hard. I isolated myself from my family because they basically shunned me. So it's like all those relationships I had are like gone. They're all gone. I'm trying to think. I'm just so emotional right now. Like, I don't ever talk about these things. So talk about it, and especially on camera, like to you guys, like I need y'all to understand I love y'all so much. Like, but anyways, so now I used to say this thing like I'm one of God's favorites. Like, I'm one of God's favorites. And I wouldn't say it in a boastful way, but I would say it in a way to even reassure myself. Like, even if I'm at my lowest point, or even if I'm sad and I think like everything is about to go wrong, or this is like the end of everything, like, it's not. Like, I'm one of God's favorites. Every time I would say something bad happened to me, like, Allah always showed me it wasn't nothing bad. He's just clearing my path, you know? So fast forward to last year, I was really depressed again. Like, I hit another low last year. Like, I got my heart broken. And for my birthday, I went to Miami and I went snorkeling. I went by myself too, so I went snorkeling. And this is like a key moment because when I was in the, like, just being on the boat, I'll probably try to insert like a video here or somewhere, but just being on the boat and being in the ocean and just in the middle of nowhere, something about being in the ocean like cleansed me. And like, when I got on the plane to Miami, I was so low, like I was so scared. And then when I came back, it's like I had this like newfound confidence. Like, and I just felt so light. Like, I don't know. And then fast forward over the summer, I almost drowned. I seriously almost drowned. Like, I went to a pool party, almost drowned. And amidst of me almost drowning, and I was just like, I was in my head, like, I wasn't panicking, but I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna die. I was just like, I'm gonna die. And I was like, God, like, if it's my time to go, let it be my time to go. Like, I was very calm. And I didn't die, clearly. Somebody came and saved me. Somebody came and saved me. Because my hair, I couldn't see under the water. Then fast forward to October. Long story short, I prayed for something. I got it. And then 2-3 days later, after I got what I prayed for, I kind of went back, like I kind of reneged. And a couple days after that, I was in the hospital. And my kidneys were failing. And they were telling me, like, if I didn't come to the hospital when I did, or if I sat in my house and took another ibuprofen, that probably would have been the end of me too. And this was in October, like a month before my revert. So I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And like, while I was in there, like, I was just so at peace. Because I'm like, honestly speaking, like, I'm in God's hands. I was like, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. Like, there's nothing I could do. There's nothing anybody else could do. Like, if he wants me, he's gonna come get me. And I would say being in the hospital really made me even closer than I was before. Because it's just like all I have is time. Like I was just sitting in there, just all I had was time. I didn't really have nobody to speak to. I didn't have nobody to visit me. So all I had was time, like time to think, time to be quiet, time to just, you know? And that's why I like the quiet a lot. Like I really like quietness. I really like being out in nature because I just feel like I feel God in my presence. Like I feel Allah around me when it's quiet. And like I can hear him clearly. Or if I'm in nature, if I'm walking, if I go to the park, because I could just hear him like he right here. Like, I don't know. It's a very beautiful feeling though. But anywho, so I get out the hospital in October. Get out the hospital in October, and I'm just like, yo, like this is when I started my YouTube. Because my mom was like, come live in Long Island after that whole kidney situation. I think it's because she was scared. Yeah, I think she was scared, like she was gonna lose me, because I'm her baby, like I'm her youngest child, and I also gave her first grandchild, so I think she was scared. So I came to Long Island, and all I had was time to think. Like all I have is time to think. So it was one day I picked up the camera. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just talk to the camera and I'm just gonna post it. And I was like, I think I'm going through like an early quarter life crisis. Like my relationships are all failing. I just quit my job. I just got out the hospital, basically death knocking on my door, just waiting on me at the porch to open the door. And I was just like, yo, like what's going on? And then like 2-3 days after that, I had like I was always a spiritual person. So I had like an epiphany. And I was just like, I posted another video too. I was sitting in the car this time waiting on my mom. And I was just like, yo, honestly speaking, like it's not that I'm having a midlife crisis. I think God is trying to isolate me. Because there's a season for everything. Like there's a season for growth. There's a season for isolation. There's a season to be around people. And I just explained it like how the 4 seasons go. Springtime is new life. New life comes in the spring. The summertime is when you're like, you're surrounded by family. The fall time, you reaping what you sow. In the wintertime, is a time to like isolate and just, you hibernate. Animals hibernate in the winter. They go to sleep, they rest. So I was just like, I think God is just putting me in a period of rest and a period of peace. And that's when Allah sent me Duma. That's when Allah sent me Duma. And I want to say he introduced Islam to me, like at least an understanding of Islam to me. And the video that solidified me taking my Shahada, it was the 6 lives of the soul. And I'm watching the video. It's like I'm so captivated. And the video was like an hour long. And it was just very captivating. And I was just like, you know what, let me take notes. And every question I had about life was answered. Like all the things that didn't make sense to me before just started making so much sense. And it's like, the more I looked into things from an Islamic perspective, it's like the Quran has an answer for everything. It has an answer for it. It has an explanation for it. It even has advice. Like I'll be sitting in my halqa, or I sit in my Quran class, And we could open up any juz, any surah, and something that it says in there, I relate to. Or I was just in a situation where the surah is relating to that situation. And I was just like, the Quran is full of miracles. The fact that I could open it, I could probably open a Quran right now, and how I'm feeling in this very moment, there's gonna be something there for me to read. And I just think like it's so beautiful. And what Islam is about is so beautiful. I think it's just a very beautiful religion. And I don't even look at it as a religion. I look at it as a lifestyle. So now, like, now that I was going through all that stuff, and it's like just at the right time. Allah's time is always right. It's always right. If things are going wrong, it's never really going wrong. Like, you just need redirection. So Duma came around, and I was just like, yo, like, I'm ready to take my Shahada. And he was like, really? He was like, when do you plan on doing it? I was like, maybe by the end of the year. But then something in me was like, don't wait, because tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow isn't promised. 5 minutes from now isn't even promised. Like, your next heartbeat is not even promised. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it right now. Like, I'm just gonna do it right now. And I took a shower and I said my Shahada. I did it by myself. But then a couple days later, I called the mosque, and I took it over the phone because I didn't need witnesses. So I took it over the phone. But the first time saying my Shahada, and like while I was showering, and just putting the intent to like just leave everything behind, like it just felt so good. Like, it just felt so good. And I just knew it was the right thing. I just knew I was doing the right thing. And I'm not going to say, like, my transition has been easy, but it's been worth it. I immediately put on the hijab. I immediately got, like, some abayas and stuff. Because I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all the way. I don't believe in half-stepping. I don't believe in, like, doing anything halfway. And I'm like, I'm doing this for the man who made me. It's not like I'm doing it for anything else. I'm doing it because, like, it's just something I feel like is my life purpose. And I feel like definitely me becoming a Muslim definitely changed my life for the better. Seeing how much I inspire others and seeing how much I help others, it means a lot to me. It really means a lot because I didn't have any guidance. Growing up, I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have anyone to support me. I didn't have what I have now. Or I didn't have the reassurance or the comfort that I give to other people. Like, I love to read your comments and how you tell me, like, I inspire you or, like, I'm helping you. And, like, you've been Muslim. Some of you been Muslims way before me. I only been Muslims for not even a full 4 months. So, I don't know. It just feels really good. It just feels really good. I'm, like, so nervous right now. Like, I'm so tense. But, yeah, like, that's my Revert story. Sorry. My eyes are tearing up. I don't know what else to say. I'm very emotional. But, yeah, like, my Revert... Hey, be quiet. Yeah, my Revert story isn't anything, like, drastic. It's just, like, I say all the time, like, Islam chose me. It's not something that I chose. Like, they say Allah chooses people, and it was just my time. Like, he called and I answered. And that's actually a surah I read the other day, an ayah I read the other day. And it was like, I don't know why I can't find it. I can't find it right now. But I'm gonna put it maybe in this box right here. But the ayah said, like, those who answer his call basically are those who's gonna be blessed. And Allah chooses who he calls. Not everybody is blessed with Islam. And that's, I'm very grateful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chose me. And he's chose me to be an example of his miracles, an example of his work, and an example of his word, because he kept his word to me. And he continues to keep his word. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this is a little bit more emotional or a little bit more sad than you might have expected. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm so at peace. Like, I'm so at peace. I cannot explain it. Like, I don't know. I don't have much to say. I don't have much to say, but thank you all for watching. Inshallah, I'll see you all in the next video. Okay? I love you all. I thank you all for your support. Happy Jummah. I'm gonna post this today, honestly speaking. Happy Jummah. I hope Allah blesses you all. Allahumma barik. Like, y'all got my heart. Y'all seriously have my heart. Y'all got me crying on the camera. Ew. Ew. But I'll see you all in the next one. Okay? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It was great sharing my story with you. I hope someone can relate to this, and I hope I give someone hope. And I hope this message touches y'all and helps you to strengthen your iman. That's all I want. Leave a comment. You could like, comment, share if you know somebody who may need this or may need to see this. Yeah, I'll see you all in the next one, inshallah. Mwah.